SportsTissueBox.com.
SportsTissueBox.com.
Get your SportsTissueBox.com.
Football season is here, and what better way to commemorate the season than to grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com. Whether you're celebrating the thrill of victory or agony defeat, sports tissue boxes are there for both young and old. Grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com.
Call them, baby, the Mets are here.
Right here for you.
Let's talk about Rolling Stone real quick, because as we were getting kind of set up with our pre-production meeting, I was telling you something about Rolling Stone magazine and how they feel about us as a culture, how they feel about us in general. And I want to see if I can find this headline now. I don't see it. Hold on real quick. I will find it. Mm-hmm. But it caused go, my bad.
Yeah, you found it?
I'm on my way. Give me one
All
second.
right. Tune into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. If you're listening on the podcast today, make sure you leave a 5-star rating, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Also, share it. Share it with a friend. Text it to someone. Email it to someone. Twitter it or X it. Facebook it. Get the word out that the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is giving you the greatest uncensored experience in hip hop.
Here we go. So this was Rolling Stone founder Jann Wenner was removed from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame board. Now, he was removed after he said Saturday he had comments that were published in the New York Times interview. A representative did not immediately respond to the comment. The controversy stems from an interview Wenner did while publishing his new book, The Masters, which features interviews with Bob Dylan, Jerry Garcia, Mick Jagger, John Lennon, Bruce Springsteen, Pete Townshend, and U2's Bono, all white, all male. Asked why he didn't interview women or black musicians, Wenner responded, "It's not that they're inarticulate, although go have a deep conversation with Grace Slick or Janis Joplin. Please be my guest. Joni Mitchell was not a philosopher of rock and roll. She didn't, in my mind, meet the test," he told Times. Now, if black artists, Stevie Wonder, genius, right? I suppose when you use a word as broad as masters, the fault is using that word. Whew. Maybe Jesus. Marvin Gaye or Curtis Mayfield. I mean, they just didn't articulate at that level, Werner said. So basically, in a nutshell, this 77-year-old man, and I put it in the terms of sports, blacks can't be quarterbacks because they can't read defenses.
Right.
They can't process a very detailed and very lined up playbook. They could just run fast and jump high. These artists cannot properly conduct an interview. They can't articulate thoughts and feelings to where my people would like to listen, engage, or maybe read. They can just play the fucking guitar, shake their ass, dance, and sing a tune like a Stevie Wonder. Some old white grandpa shit that, yeah. But what's your thoughts on that, old guy?
Nah, I actually, it's sad, but I'm not surprised when I hear, old white men or white women say things like this, because it's like the whole essence of, our time in this country has kind of, if you want to go all the way back, let's say it's go back to slavery. That was the thing. Like, we have to civilize you savages. You big, you can jump, you can run, you can do all that. But when it comes to things that you have to use your mind with, you know what I mean? You need me to direct you. Woo. You know what I mean? I'm going to put you on this. I'm going to put this horse and buggy on your back and make you pull this shit and go through, you know what I mean? And direct you to do this when it's really, and I'm not even going to say the opposite because I'm not trying to shit on no other race, but right. It's really that the truth of the matter is that every race is bright. Every race has smart people. Every race has geniuses, and I'm not going to say that we're the smartest or nothing. Cause I can't say that. I can't say that we're the smartest, but we ain't the dumbest. And we're not, and I think it was their own inferiority complex in a lot of different instances that made them feel like, for whatever reason, that they had to do this, subjugate other races of people. If we look throughout history, that's what they had to do. Like, we got to control them, we got to dominate them, and ultimately, govern them in a way that we want them to go. For whatever, there's a lot of theories out there, for whatever reason, that's what we see. And I think we see it today as well. A lot of different industries, yeah, we could be in them, but you can't really run nothing. You ain't going to own nothing like that. You know what I mean? Perfect example was football. You know what I mean? You ain't smart enough. All you could do is run and go catch the ball. Don't think that you're going to read a defense. Don't think that you're going to, be a manager or a general manager of a team or own a team. You can't do that. You got to do what we say you're going to do. When really, it's the opposite. Because now you see it's 14 black quarterbacks starting in the NFL.
Kicking ass.
It's progress is happening. We don't have shout out Magic Johnson. Even though he's not majority owner, he's still a first. It's progress at the end of the day with the Commanders. So I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not.
At all. Not surprised at all. And what makes me laugh about these situations now, because as these grandfathers say that, they look at their beautiful grandbabies, and most of them are half black now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are in a different time, a different age, and I'm curious to see where race goes as a whole in the next 50 to 100 years. We won't be in 100 years or so. We won't be here to see it.
Right.
But I'm curious to see where it goes, because although racism is still very alive and very prevalent, very real, a lot of those old ideals and people pushing those papers and doing those are kind of starting to weed their way out. And although they are raising and growing and grooming more, there's a lot more of ones that aren't that like that and do see a different light and are mating with us on a higher level to where they are creating now mixed babies. You know what I'm saying? And there's people on our side that can they want to go against that as well, because for the obvious reason. But when you look at it, it's not surprising. It's going to cause a lot of attention, but it doesn't surprise me one bit. It shouldn't surprise many people, and this is why some of these people in these positions, we need to start seeing ushered out, and new faces and new blood being ushered in, to where that inferiority complex isn't so prevalent, or that idea that these motherfuckers can run, jump, sing, dance, but no, they can't think. No, they can't put words or sentences together and all that shit. And that has to be out the window. But that's why they try so hard in pumping the narrative that they do. This is why we see Sexy Red as hot as we see her. This is why we see the ignorance as much as we do. This is why we had these conversations about Colorado being like the BET Awards. This is the narrative that they're trying to spin. And nothing against what Colorado did, but when you hear a commentator say it's like the BET Awards, and you got hundreds of thousands of white folk, millions of white folk watching too, it's like this is the narrative that they want to throw. So not surprising. I do see a change being ushered in very soon. And it just kind of goes to show you how that mindset is and still is in a very high power position.
Yeah, man.